Hear ye, hear ye. Welcome to Community of Grace's Drama Troupe's production of Esther. In order to bring the word to life fully and well, we invite your participation. At key moments during our tale, you will be seeing certain signs that will guide you in this. And now, our story begins. There once lived a king. The king was a bit immature. But this story is not primarily about the king. Once, when the king was feeling lonely, he decided to take a wife. The woman he chose to be his queen was named Esther. Now, Esther had many admirable qualities, and she also had a secret. Esther happened to be Jewish. No one in the palace knew. Being a Jew during this time was a little like being a Cougars fan. No one else really likes you. Esther had a cousin who had raised her since she was a child. His name was Mordecai. Bravo! However, in this telling, Mordecai is played by a woman. As a side note, if there are ever any men who are interested in joining the drama troupe or taking applications. Regardless of gender, Esther's cousin was very much a support system in Esther's life. Once Esther married the king and moved into the castle, Mordecai would sit outside of the castle gate to be close at hand if ever Esther needed him. Once, while Mordecai was hanging around the gates, he heard two of the guards plotting to kill the king. Mordecai notified Esther, and Esther notified the king. The two guards were thwarted in their plans, and the story was written down in the king's books. The king was so self-centered that even his for-fun reading were just bedtime stories about his own life. The bit about the bedtime stories will be important later. Now, the king had an advisor named Haman.
Hey, man.
Very funny.
Haman was just as full of himself as the king. When he came and went from the castle, he expected the people he passed to bow down to him. Mordecai refused.
I bow only to the one true king.
Haman did not like this at all, and because he knew that Mordecai was a Jew, he decided to devise a plot that would not only get rid of Mordecai, but of all the Jews in the kingdom. He shared this plot with the king.
O king, I come before you on a matter of great importance. There's a group of people in your kingdom who do not fit in. They are different. They look different. They dress differently, they eat weird food, and they refuse to follow all the decrees of your officials.
What? How dare they?
I know! We can't have this. You will not be betrayed by a people of within your own kingdom.
Certainly not. It sounds like you think we should get rid of these people.
Exactly. It sounds like you believe there should be a decree that in all the far-flung areas of your kingdom, these people should be removed.
Yes.
Well, I will pay for it. I will make a big deposit in the royal bank, and it sounds like I should draw up these plans and have you sign the bottom in this highlighted area here, right there.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Very good. You are so brilliant, my king. What a genius plan you have come up with.
Soon, all of the Jews heard the news of the king's new decree. There was wailing and gnashing of teeth. Mordecai sent a messenger to tell Esther the terrible news of what was happening in the kingdom.
Polly? Esther? Polly? Esther? Hey, nice dress, by the way. What's it made of? Anyway, here's the message from your cousin Mordecai. Dearest Esther, you cannot let the king carry out this awful plan. He wants to remove our entire people. What? What is this plot? That's a copy of the decree that's posted throughout the entire kingdom. Your cousin Mordecai asks that you go to the king and intercede and plead with him for your people.
But, Polly, you know that anyone who approaches the king without being summoned will be immediately executed unless the king holds out his royal scepter to them. The king has not asked to see me in more than a month.
Polly flew to Mordecai with Esther's concern.
Polly, tell Esther this. Don't think that just because you live in the king's house, you're the one Jew who will get out of this alive. If you persist in staying silent at a time like this, help and deliverance will arrive for the Jews from someplace else. But you and your family will be wiped out. Who knows? Maybe you were made queen for just such a time as this.
Polly, tell Mordecai this. Gather the people. Tell them not to eat or drink for 3 days. I and my maids will do the same. If you will do this, I'll go to the king, even if it is forbidden. If I die, I die.
Mordecai left the king's gate to carry out Esther's instructions. Meanwhile, back at the palace, Esther, fearing for her life, remembered a song that her grandmother used to sing.
For Mordecai's sake and for the sake of our people. But I'm still so scared.
Perhaps a walk around the palace might help calm you down.
What an excellent idea. Well, hello. What is your name?
Ben.
Hi, Frank. My name is, I am called Esther. Well, Queen Esther, I suppose, but I'm still getting used to that. Now, Frank, I have a situation and I need someone to help me. Do you think you can help me out?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. In fact, why don't all the children come up and please join me on the rainbow rug. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Here's my situation. My husband, the king, signed a decree removing all Jews from the kingdom. I am also a Jew, but I've been keeping it a secret. Do you think that I should tell him so that I can save my people? No. Well, I want to, but I'm really scared he might get angry. Have any of you ever been scared? Yes. Would anyone like to share? Well, that's all right. Why don't you think about it and we can talk about it some more later. Well, thank you so much, my friends. You have given me courage and a lot to think about. Will you pray with me? Dear God, sometimes when I'm scared, I have to do things anyway. Please help me find my strength. Amen. Now, as you exit the palace, please follow Marie and Betsy to Children's Church.
Now, Esther swallowed her fear and began to prepare to approach the king. The battle is not ours. We look to God above, for He will guide us safely through and guard us with His love. I will not be afraid. I will not run and hide, for there is nothing I can't face when God is at my side.
No, there is nothing I can't face when God is at my side. The battle is not ours. We look to God above, for He will guide us safely through and guard us with His love.
King, what is your wife doing here?
If it please the king, he and his pal Haman will join me for a dinner tonight.
We would love to join you for dinner tonight.
Wow, she must think I'm great to invite the king and me.
Esther had her servants prepare a lovely dinner. Over wine, the king asked her what it was she wanted. Sensing that the timing wasn't quite right, Esther invited the two men to yet another dinner the next week, promising an answer to the king's question. A few nights after that first dinner party, the king was having trouble sleeping. So he asked his servant to read to him some bedtime stories from the king's books. He thought this might calm his racing mind and help him drift off to sleep.
Once upon a time, in a castle exactly like this one, there lived a wise and noble and incredibly handsome king. A king who had never done anything to ever make anyone dislike him. Even so, some of his own guards plotted to have him killed. However, a man sitting at the king's gate overheard their evil whisperings and made sure the king found out so he could have them stopped. The king was saved. The end.
That's it. What happened next?
Nothing. That's the end of the story.
But what gifts were given to this man who warned the king of this plot?
Nothing is written in here, sir.
Fetch Haman at once.
My king, what can I do for you at this late hour?
Haman, as my second in command, what would you suggest the king do for someone he wants to honor?
Haman, being as selfish as the king, thought surely the king was talking about him.
Well, King, I would say the king should dress that person in the finest clothes and have that person paraded through the city and have someone walking in front of the wagon that person's on, shouting their name. Here is the best, here is the coolest, here is the most awesomest in all the king's land.
That is a wonderful idea.
Thank you, sir. I only yearn to please the king.
Haman, exactly as you said, make it happen.
Oh, my king, you shouldn't.
Take Mordecai some nice clothes. Parade him around the city yelling the phrase exactly as you said. Mordecai is the best, the coolest, the most awesomest in all the king's land.
After this humiliation, Haman could not wait to get rid of all the Jews. But first, he needed to attend his second dinner party with Queen Esther. As you can imagine, Esther was very nervous to tell the king and Haman that she was herself a Jew. As her fear rose, she once again remembered her grandmother's song. Now, can we all help Esther gain courage by singing along? The battle is not ours. We look to God above, for He will guide us safely through and guard us with His love. I will not be afraid. I will not run and hide, for there is nothing I can't face when God is at my side. There is nothing I can't face when God is at my side.
If I have found favor in your eyes, O king, and if it please the king, give me my life, and give my people their lives. We've been sold, I and my people, sold to be destroyed, massacred, eliminated.
Who has sold you? Where is he? This is monstrous.
An enemy, an adversary, this evil Haman.
Haman was terror-stricken before the king and queen. Instead of all the Jews being removed, the king ordered that Haman and his agents be banished instead. Now all the kingdom celebrated their safety and diversity and shared in a feast of cookies together. Thespians, take a bow. Thus ends our play, and though most of it was told in jest, the heart of its message remains true. As such a time as this was, Esther faced hatred with courage and took action that led to hope. As such a time as this is, are we all not called to do the same? We invite you to think of a time when your smaller story intersected with the greater story. What is it that inspired you? What actions did you take? What hope resulted? Perhaps you can share these stories over cookies after worship